we talked earlier about how sometimes episodes or movies will surprise you with certain scenes that maybe are not appropriate for Lucas. How do you guys handle those moments where he has already seen something maybe that affects him in a way, or something that maybe he's just not ready to have seen?
I don't know. You take that one.
Okay. I can't think of a specific, because we're usually really good about pre-watching things, so I can't think of anything specific in an anime, but there are things where I'll explain to them, like the shower stuff that I mentioned beforehand, bathhouse scenes and things like that. Well, why are they having this long conversation? Well, it's a cultural thing. It's a family social thing. It could be an outside family social thing. It's just different, son. And that's the key, is just be open. Especially if they've already seen it, you're better off explaining what they saw, and ask them, do you have any questions? And make sure they don't make sure they know they're not in trouble. That's the biggest thing, guys. Yeah. I cannot express enough how awful it was for me to do something I didn't know was wrong. And I don't mean to crap on my parents. All parents make mistakes, and generations change, but there was times where I didn't realize I had done something wrong, and I'm getting, beat up for it verbally, sorry. I'm an Army soldier, and when we say getting beat up for something, we mean someone dressing you down, giving you that stern talk. Sorry. It's hard to break old soldier habits, but I'd get, in trouble for this thing. It's like, I don't even understand what I did, and you had something similar. So it's like,
I have a few things.
Yeah, explain it. This is what you saw. This is why you shouldn't have seen it. And in the future, you'll be more prepared. Be prepared for it. They're not dumb. I mean, kids are smart, guys. I mean, they really are. Some of us, it might have been a while since we were kids, but we were dumb too. Or we weren't dumb too. We were smart. We weren't dumb. We understood.
No, I was a dumb kid. I spent every year trying to find the Christmas presents and never could. I asked my mom, what did you do? How did you hide them? She's like, we didn't hide them very well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You got to put some faith in their ability, and if they aren't ready to absorb it, let them know that it will be okay to revisit when they are. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
All right, so just to wrap it up, give me your soapbox pitch, each of you, as to why parents should raise their kids with anime. It should be a very simple question.
Brian, you want to start?
That is not a simple question.
I know, right?
It's complex. Because of the amount of flexibility with anime, there's so many genres within it. There's so many options. If you want to just watch something that involves farming, cooking, ice skating, action, conquering planets, space invasions, it's all there. Like you said, Dr. Stone with the education angle. The variety is unlimited, and that's my biggest thing. It's just so much variety.
Yeah, there's a little something for everyone, and there's, like you had mentioned earlier, that like you didn't even think about talking about these things, and then it comes up, and it's a lot of fun to watch together.
Movies, always start with movies. Ghibli again is a great place to start. Lucas grew up watching Howls, watching Totoro, watching Ponyo. That was his bag, baby. And then getting into shows, educational things are great. Anyone like Cells at Work, because that show is just adorable. It offers family cosplay opportunities as well. And wink, wink, you guys next year for us. And it's also fun because white blood cell screaming, die, dirty germ is just hilarious, right? Yeah. Gotta love it. So I think those are great starters. Anime can't be a babysitter for obvious reasons, but it's definitely a great tool to use to connect with your kid. And you guys that might be having kids in the future, or maybe you already do, and they haven't quite gotten into this yet. Use it. You have a wealth of knowledge that your parents probably didn't necessarily have. I could fool my parents into getting anything related to anime, except getting my cat named. And I wanted to name my first cat that I had as a kid Sasami. And my mom was like, I'm not having that cartoon crap name. So I was like, okay, I got you. Serena. And that, of course, being Sailor Moon. She's like, oh, like Bewitched? Yeah, sure, Mom, like Bewitched. And now we've got Riza Hawkeye the dog from Full Metal, Saris Victoria, a dark brown cat from Hellsing, and Kione Makibi from Tenchi Universe. Because, again, I saw Tenchi when I was real young and it left an impression.
Yeah.
What movies would y'all recommend to start? For me, working with people, young kids, Howl's Moving Castle, Spirited Away, and probably Beast and the Boy. Like, those are 3 go-tos that they're all really into. I was just wondering what you think would be the...
Christine?
Well, my first movie like that was Spirited Away, and it's like, yeah, kids will love this. Everybody will love it. So, like, I would say that one.
I've been singing the praises of Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop a lot. If you have not seen that movie, watch it. It is great, very, very touching, and would really touch especially young people's lives, and even yours, because you probably went through some similar things.
Yeah, I have to agree with you guys. Spirited Away is the way to go. It opened my daughter's imagination to wanting to watch the rest of the movies, and then to move on to different things, different genres of anime. And to this day, we rewatched that movie. We just watched the live performance version of it that they had at a couple of theaters, which was beautiful. It was just amazing. So it's been a great way for my daughter and I to continue to connect as she's getting older, because luckily, as you guys have been saying, as she matures, so does the offerings of anime. It's not like it just cuts off at some point. It just gets more complex, more mature, more thought bubbles, more internal monologues that allow her to see that these get more than. Can you imagine if like Fred Flintstone had like internal monologues or something?
Oh my
like that? God! I know Mark Russell did an amazing comic book where it was a little bit more like that, but it's just such an amazing world, and I'm very grateful for it.
Can Lucas make a recommendation? But besides Dr. Stone, what anime would you recommend to people? What, pick one. Something else you've watched, bud.
Like a movie or...
A movie, or your recommendation?
I can't think of one.
Access
Yes,
Flash,
Gridman.
maybe?
Gridman.
There you go. That works. He did. He liked Gridman more than Dynazenon. I was the opposite.
All right. Well, with about 10 minutes left in our panel, which we are very happy for you guys to be here, we wanted to open up for some questions, and I believe there's going to be a microphone.
Yep, we got a mic. We got a question. If you want to ask a question, please just raise your hand, and they'll bring a mic to you guys. And thank you for having questions. We've got some shirts and some pictures of our, he's wearing her IMA. We'll try to hand those out to some of you guys that ask these questions.
I guess we could just.
Lucas?
So I guess it sounds like you guys are like a second generation. So I guess my question is more like in previous generations. I don't know if you know the history. So some of the grown-ups that grew up with anime and stumbled on some of the adult stuff and accidentally checked out like some of the extreme mature. So what do you think you feel like, or current parents learned in today's generation compared to the ones that accidentally stumbled onto some of the mature stuff like Ninja Scrolls or Akira when they were kids?
Yeah, I would say he's gonna, not to brag, he's going to be better prepared because we've been willing to have those conversations, and we've been really what's the word I'm looking for? Like guarding on not letting him get something that he really shouldn't. There's a word I want to use and I can't remember it. Trying to be all fancy with my language, but yeah, that's the key. It's like we had said, you got to kind of research it. Us having that knowledge for a lot of those big titles, which are still everyone still gets recommended, things like Akira, things like Ninja Scroll, Berserk, and it's like, okay, what did your friend recommend to you? Nah, dude, you can't get that one. But you gotta be open on why. You can't. Yeah. You wouldn't like, and sometimes it's straight, dude. I don't mind if you watch this, but it deals with intimacy. Do you want to see it? Nope, I'm good. Okay. That's the key. That's just the biggest part. And I think that's what kind of gives us a benefit is we're not afraid of anime because we already know it. So is that what you're looking for? Cool. Anyone else want to add?
They're gonna be exposed to stuff just simply because they have smartphones and they have friends and the accessibility is just there. I mean, it's just very easy to find pretty much anything. So if you're as a parent, you just gotta be mindful and watchful of what they're doing on their smartphone because they can access anything now.
Yeah.
And for us, like you said, we'd be at the video store, you see a cool box, you're like, oh, rent this, it's cool, and you get home, you're like, oh, wow, Ninja Scroll or whatever, but now they just push a couple buttons and it's right there.
Ask a question, you give them more.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, buddy.
Let me preface that I have a 6-year-old and a 14, so I've been where you are and I'm past where you are.
Oh.
So, 2 questions. One, I love that you guys use the word genre because anime in general, population is still a thing of itself. So, how do you think we as parents can help move that idea that anime is a genre and not a media? Because like you said, there's so many things that you can watch. So if you go into a bookstore and like, oh, I'm gonna drop my kid off at the manga section, you have no clue what they're gonna be reading.
Yeah.
Right, so, and that's the same with if you open up your password to streaming. So how can we change society perception to make anime from media into genre specific, that mentality? And I actually have a second question.
That's cool.
I could
You want to start with something?
Yeah, so one of the simplest ways is as they've talked about, is really having those conversations with them, explaining really what those differences are, and it's like, hey, this is this kind of film, and this is a horror film, so this is what this is going to have, and kind of the same way you almost treat like regular. I mean, they're also regular at this point, but horror comedies, and you have your emotional shows, and as they get a little bit older, they're going to be able to recognize the differences, and it's really a matter of conversations because they're always going to ask the why, and if you give them the why, then they'll be able to understand it just a little bit better.
The work, this will be the senior editor side, the LRM side, not the genre-verse side, because we deal with a lot of general entertainment. That's actually the key, is to stop seeing animation even separately. It'll be a long fight, but you need to stop seeing animated movies only nominated for an animated award, and you should be able to see an animated film be nominated for drama, for comedy, for things like that, because exactly like you said, they are. Good thing is our generations that grew up with Toonami and the generation behind us that's growing up with Funimation and Crunchyroll, they're starting to get into those industries where they can start making those changes. So if you're young and you're in an industry where you can start making pushes and things like that's going to be the key. I think it'll take time, but I think there is a lot of us that would I mean, who wouldn't want to see movie of the year from Oscars be an anime film, be like a Shinkai film? Why not? Weathering with You could have done it. Your Name could have done it. In my opinion, lots of Ghibli films could have done it. So that one's going to actually be on us and wherever we can. I like to put genres into it. This anime is a blank. It's a this, a that. Whenever we do reviews or anything, and I think that's the biggest way to kind of push that.
All right, I think we have time for one more question.
Yes, or yeah, if we okay.
Yeah. Maybe we'll try to squeeze to it.
Okay, we'll try.
Hi, thank you guys for everything that you shared. It's really wonderful to hear that something that we're all so passionate about can be a way for parents and children to connect. For the longest time for me, it felt as if my parents thought, oh, that's not my kind of stuff. But thank you guys for showing that it can be that kind of medium.
You're welcome.
The question I wanted to ask was, what do you think about A Silent Voice being, that movie, being a great way to show maybe middle school age kids, you know, how to healthily cope with either the effects of bullying or having even been a bully, and how to grow and heal from that.
Yeah, Christine, you were the first of the three of us to watch that. You want to talk about bringing that in?
Yeah, like Lucas has like not really had much in the line of bullying, but I did, and it was never this severe, but it is good to speak about it, you know, to understand both point of views instead of it just being like, oh, bullying is bad, but you know, sometimes you just get caught up in, you know, whatever, and you know, it's good to talk about it. It's good to not just jump in and be like, oh, you did this, you are in so much trouble. Because I had that growing up, to where it was just, even if I, like Kyle had mentioned earlier, just didn't understand something and said something or did something, I would have been in trouble. So keeping things open and honest, and then also having like a little bit of, like you can have trust in your kid, but then also like, I want to go find out what happened, because there's like this person's point of view, this person's point of view, and somewhere in the middle is the truth. And then just try to use it as a teaching experience instead of just like, okay, well now you've got 10,000 chores. So.
And I think middle school age, that's where a lot of people are starting to really experience that type, and I think it's a good film to use for that.
All right, just one last quick
Can we get
question over
yeah.
here.
Lucas, you want to go get one? With
Sorry, I didn't
the
mean
hat.
to briefly cut you off.
It's all good.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Thank you for sharing all your stories, by the way. It's really good. I guess my question is a little lighthearted.
And then,
Was there any point where Lucas was, like, were you scared that we're, like, sorry?
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. I was pointing to Lucas. Raise your hand to ask the question. Thank you, Lucas, right there. Go ahead, listening.
Yeah, were you ever scared that he was gonna reject anime? Like, I know
Yes.
you touched on it.
Yes. So I'll tell this real fast. We didn't raise him with bubble guppies or anything like that. We actually started him on like Teen Titans Go and Amazing World of Gumball because we didn't want to watch bubble guppies. It bit us in the butt.
Yeah, it did.
Because now he hates Gumball and Teen Titans Go, which I still find to be adorable and fun. So yeah, we were also showing him little bits of anime. It was nerve-wracking, but it's very different, which allowed him to find things that he could really get into, especially Dr. Stone with the technology stuff. So yeah, a fear, but we've made it through. We're good. He's here, right?
Yeah, like it was really exciting that he got into it, because like, yes, I got one thing at least that we can bond together with.
Awesome. Well,
Anime is a medium, not a genre.
Yeah.
You just gotta find the right one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us this morning. It means a lot to us to be
Yes.
able to
Thank
share
you.
our
Thank you
stories
so
with you guys,
much.
and to we have wonderful kids. Brian works with wonderful kids, and we know that you all have wonderful kids in your lives. That's one way or another, and just want to continue to grow anime to a point where it's no longer like this gentleman says.
Yep.
So again, enjoy the rest of your anime expo. And where can they find us?
At AVR on GV on Twitter and the Genreverse on YouTube. Check us out, lrmonline.com. There.
Awesome. Thank you all.
Thank you.